Have you ever wondered what it would take to just drop everything you've ever known for a promise? Today, we're diving into the life of Abraham, a figure often called the father of faith. And trust me, his story isn't just some ancient tale. It's a radical, intense journey of trust that literally reshaped the spiritual map of our world.
And boom, it all kicks off with this one life-shattering command. This single sentence launches an incredible journey into the complete unknown. Imagine, the only thing paving your way is a promise and a staggering amount of faith.
So let's set the scene. Abraham's story begins in a place called Ur. This wasn't some backwater town. It was a bustling, sophisticated city in Mesopotamia. Think wealth, comfort, culture, but also a place deeply rooted in the worship of many gods. And it's from the very heart of all that security that he gets this call to leave it all behind.
And let's be really clear here. This was so much more than just a change of address. This was a demand to abandon his homeland, his family, his entire identity, everything that made him him. It was this profound act of total surrender, trading everything he knew for a promise he couldn't see.
So, this incredible leap of faith leads directly to the absolute heart of Abraham's story, the divine covenant. And this isn't just some casual agreement, folks. This is the very foundation of his entire relationship with God.
So what is a covenant exactly? Well, in this context, it's way more than a contract you sign. It's a sacred, binding promise. It's all about establishing a two-way relationship, one built on serious commitments that go far deeper than any simple deal.
The terms here are just profound. On one side of the deal, God promises land, descendants so numerous they'd be like the stars in the sky, and divine protection. And in return, what Abraham has to bring to the table is unwavering faithfulness, total devotion, and absolute trust no matter what.
But you know, faith that isn't tested isn't really faith, is it? And this brings us to the most dramatic, the most challenging, and the most terrifying part of Abraham's entire journey. This is the moment his faith gets pushed right to the absolute breaking point.
Now, to really feel the weight of this test, you have to understand the weight. After that covenant was made, years and years went by. Abraham got old, his wife Sarah was unable to have children, and hope was just about gone. And then, against all possible odds, a miracle. Their son Isaac, the child of the promise, is born.
You'd think, okay, this is it. Here's the miracle, son, the happy ending, roll the credits. But no, in fact, this was all just setting the stage for the most unbelievable trial you could possibly imagine.
I mean, this is the question at the core of it all. Can you even wrap your head around that? After waiting decades for this miracle child, Abraham is commanded to sacrifice him. The inner conflict, it's just unimaginable.
This command is completely incomprehensible. It flies in the face of everything we think we know about love, about logic. It even seems to contradict the very promise God himself had just fulfilled. It's a moment that's designed to shatter every piece of human reasoning, leaving only one thing left to stand on: pure, raw faith. And in this act of just staggering obedience, Abraham walks up that mountain with his son, and at the very last second, just as he's about to go through with it, the command is stopped. A ram is provided as a substitute. In that moment, faith triumphed over fear. It was the ultimate demonstration of absolute trust.
But Abraham's story doesn't end there on that mountain, not by a long shot. His life becomes this foundational stone for three of the world's major religions, creating a legacy that has shaped billions and billions of lives.
So, in Judaism, he's the first patriarch, the father of that divine covenant. For Christians, he's this powerful symbol of righteousness, someone justified by faith, not by following rules. And in Islam, he's known as Ibrahim, a deeply revered prophet who is the perfect model of submission to God's will.
So, why does this ancient story still hit so hard today? What's in it for us? Well, it's because it's just packed with this timeless wisdom about what faith is, what trust looks like, and what it means for our own spiritual journeys.
When you really boil it down, his life teaches us some huge lessons.
that real faith isn't about what you can see, it's about trusting when you can't. That true strength is found in that kind of obedience, and that sacrifice isn't really about loss, it's an expression of deep love and trust. And maybe the biggest lesson of all? That faith can create a legacy that echoes for thousands of years, and that some promises hold true no matter how long you have to wait.
You know, at the end of the day, Abraham's journey isn't just a history lesson. It's more like a mirror. It reflects that call that so many of us feel in our own lives, that pull to leave the comfort of what's easy and known and to step out into our own wilderness of faith to find a deeper truth.
And that really leaves us with this final, powerful thought. Maybe the true lesson from Abraham's life is that the most important journey any of us will ever take, it's not a physical one at all. It's that internal journey we all face, the one from a life guided by fear to a life lived in faith.